Imagine stepping onto a commercial airplane, trusting your life to the greatest engineering company in human history, only to have a massive hole blow open in the side of the plane while you're thousands of feet in the air. This isn't a nightmare. It's the terrifying new reality of Boeing. For decades, Boeing was the pride of American manufacturing, the absolute gold standard of safety. But today, it's a $70 billion burning disaster. Planes are falling apart in the sky, whistleblowers are turning up dead, and the world is asking one simple question: what the hell happened? The truth is darker than a simple manufacturing error. Boeing wasn't destroyed by bad engineers. It was completely dismantled piece by piece by Wall Street executives obsessed with one thing: pure, unadulterated greed. Here is how the greatest aviation company on Earth traded human lives for stock market profits. To understand this catastrophic collapse, we have to go back to 1997. Back then, Boeing was run by hardcore engineers. If a plane wasn't perfect, it didn't fly. Safety was a religion. But then, Boeing merged with a failing rival company called McDonnell Douglas. This was the exact moment the poison entered the bloodstream. The executives from McDonnell Douglas took over Boeing's management, and they brought a ruthless, cutthroat Wall Street mentality with them. Suddenly, the brilliant engineers who built the company were pushed out. In their place came the accountants, the finance guys, the bean counters. The new management literally moved the corporate headquarters away from the factories in Seattle all the way to Chicago, just so they wouldn't have to talk to the engineers anymore. The mission changed overnight. It was no longer about building the best airplanes in the world. It was about cutting costs, squeezing suppliers, and making the stock price go up at absolutely any cost. The ultimate result of this toxic financial culture was the 737 MAX. Boeing's main rival, Airbus, had just released a highly fuel-efficient plane. Boeing panicked. Instead of spending billions and taking years to design a brand new, safe airplane, the executives took a dangerous shortcut. They took a 50-year-old airplane design and strapped massive, heavy new engines onto it. But there was a deadly problem. These huge engines changed how the plane flew, pushing the nose dangerously upward. To fix this fatal flaw without telling anyone, Boeing secretly installed a software system called MCAS. This software would automatically push the nose of the plane down. The worst part? Boeing deliberately hid this software from the pilots to save money on training simulators. They literally told airlines that pilots could learn to fly this new plane on an iPad. It was a ticking time bomb. And in 2018 and 2019, that bomb went off. 2 737 MAX planes crashed, taking the lives of 346 innocent people. All because executives wanted to save a few $1 million on training. You would think that after losing 346 lives, the company would completely restructure. You would be wrong. While the engineering culture was rotting, what were the CEOs doing with all the company's cash? Were they investing in better safety protocols? No. Over the span of a decade, Boeing spent a staggering $68 billion on stock buybacks. A stock buyback is a financial trick where a company buys its own shares to artificially inflate the stock price, directly enriching the CEOs and top shareholders. They literally gutted the company's research and development budget to line their own pockets. The factory floors became a nightmare. Veteran mechanics were fired or retired, replaced by cheaper, inexperienced labor. Quality control inspectors were pressured to ignore defects just to push planes out the door faster. Whistleblowers who tried to speak up about missing bolts and dangerous assembly lines were intimidated, silenced, and fired. The culture of negligence finally caught up to them in a terrifying way in early 2024. An Alaska Airlines Boeing 737 was flying at 16,000 feet when a massive panel, a door plug, violently blew off the side of the plane. The cabin instantly depressurized. Passengers were staring out into the open sky, holding onto their seats for their lives. Miraculously, no one was killed. But the subsequent investigation revealed the shocking truth. The plane had left the Boeing factory completely missing the 4 essential bolts needed to hold the door in place. It wasn't an accident. It was pure systemic incompetence. The Federal Aviation Administration launched massive investigations. Production was halted. Boeing lost over $70 billion in market value in just a few months. The company that once put men on the moon couldn't even put bolts in a door. The downfall of Boeing is the ultimate warning to the modern business world. When you let Wall Street take over engineering, the consequences are catastrophic. And yet, the architects of this disaster faced zero real consequences. CEO Dave Calhoun announced his resignation amidst the chaos, but he didn't walk away empty-handed. He walked away with millions in compensation. The executives got rich, the shareholders got bailed out, and the public got flying death traps. If you want to see how another massive company completely destroyed itself through pure greed, click the video on screen right now to see the insane story of WeWork's $47 billion scam. And subscribe for more billion-dollar blunders.